Well, thank you, and what a beautiful spring day to be in Tallahassee. I'm so sorry we're all in this room with no windows, but I'm very glad you're here. Thank you. I have been involved in Florida politics for many, many years. I cut my teeth on the Dade County Human Rights Ordinance. Some of you will recall that Commissioner Ruth Schack passed one of the first human rights ordinances, or sponsored one of the first human rights ordinances to pass, which provided civil rights for lesbian and gay couple, or lesbian and gay individuals in Dade County. At the time, of course, it could not be called gay rights. It had to be human rights, because we didn't say gay in polite society. Then it became the proud gay rights movement. Then, of course, with the advent of women's equality, it became the lesbian and gay rights movement. Then it became the lesbian, gay, bi, and transgendered right movements. And at that point, I started gaining a lot of weight because you had to have a big chest for the t-shirt. It is now, just to keep you up to date, the LGBTQQA. QQA stands for queer, questioning, and asexual. Which means it has to go all the way around the back of your t-shirt. And still, with all of this inclusiveness, I am here to tell you that a very large group has been left out. How many of you work hard in your community, at your job, for your families? I mean, how many of us work hard? Okay, for those of us who are working day and night, night and day, there is a huge group left out, and that is the celibates by choice or chance. The CBCC will be having a caucus meeting immediately after this in the back of the room. You know who you are. Now, I say that because this Amendment 2 is similarly in the debate by our proponents of Amendment 2, leaving out a huge group of people who will be affected. They want to say that this is a ban on lesbian and gay marriage. They don't want us to talk about all of the rights and benefits that other Floridians will lose if Amendment 2 passes, what it will take away. It is misleading to say this would ban lesbian and gay marriage. Lesbian and gay marriage will be just as illegal the day after the vote is held, whether Amendment 2 passes or, as I hope, fails. It is illegal under no fewer than four Florida statutes. The first one said, you can't get married. The second one said, we mean it. The third one says, we really, really mean it. And the fourth one said, don't be thinking you can go up north to Massachusetts to get married and come down here and have us recognize it, because we won't. So, there. So if all Amendment 2 were designed to do would be to ban lesbian and gay marriage, it would say something like, only marriage between a man and a woman shall be valid and recognized. Instead, what it says is, inasmuch as marriage is the legal union of only one man and one woman as husband and wife, no other legal union that is treated as marriage or the substantial equivalent thereof shall be valid or recognized. Now, I'm a pretty smart person. I'm a pretty well-educated person. But I can tell you that none of us knows what that means. We do know without any doubt that if Amendment 2 passes, somebody's going to be down the next day at the courthouse filing a lawsuit saying that domestic partner benefits are treating people who receive them as if they were married in terms of sharing their health care, or in terms of retirement benefits, or in terms of making medical decisions for each other, or hospital visitations, or even getting family notice if your loved one is involved in an accident and gets taken to the hospital. All of those being provided under domestic partner benefits would be treating you as if you were married and will be taken away. In fact, the Florida legislative analysis of Amendment 2 even warns that Amendment 2 could be raised as a defense against domestic violence cases, and that it would result in fewer domestic violence convictions. Now, that stopped me. I thought, okay, now this time, even the Republican-controlled Florida legislative analysis folks are going too far. But then I read that there were 80-some men in Ohio who were being prosecuted for domestic violence for beating up the woman they lived with, who claimed that under the Ohio constitutional amendment, this would be putting an illegal, unconstitutional domestic status on their relationship, and therefore they could not be prosecuted. It got all the way to the Ohio Supreme Court, where the court decided, oh, guys, you're really getting prosecuted, okay? Forget it. Great. On the other hand, we've got proponents of this amendment saying, well, they can't trust the unelected, or in some cases elected judges, depending on the level of Florida, not to overturn these count them four statutes that means it's illegal, 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 illegal for lesbians and gays to get married. But they want us to trust the judges to interpret what it means to say that a union is treated as marriage or is the substantial equivalent of marriage. I don't think so. Frankly, I think that they are trying to mislead us. In Kentucky, which has very similar language, and John nicely provided you with some of the language, the Attorney General says that the state university system cannot offer health and other benefits to employees who aren't married. And in fact, again, the State Legislative Office of Economy and Demographic Research warned in Florida that Amendment 2 could have the same consequences here. Michigan, that issue is on the way to the Supreme Court. Even if the courts came up with the right answer, and I'm not confident of that ever, I can tell you that it would cost the cities and municipalities and the universities and colleges that have domestic partner benefits millions of dollars in litigation to take these cases to the Supreme Court. Who needs that? What do we gain by it? Lesbian and gay marriage is already illegal. I'm at time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You'll get 2 more minutes.
And just to say that this would introduce brand new, undefined, untested language into the Florida Constitution, and I don't think that's what we want for Florida's families.